Well, if boxing couldn't get any more crazier, it has. Because we got the announcement that Jake Paul is fighting former two-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. Just disbelief, right? I mean, rumours have been going on for months, but was it actually ever going to fully happen? Is it actually going to happen? Because, there's still a month out, there's still time to stop this from happening, but as everything goes, this is on as a professional heavyweight bout, so we are going to talk about it. And is this bad for boxing? I guess we're going to say. So, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua is official for December 19th in Miami, live exclusively on Netflix, not on DAZN. It seems like Most Valuable Promotions had to pay a good sum of money for this to be on Netflix and not on DAZN, because obviously Anthony Joshua is signed to fight on DAZN. So with that being said, it is on Netflix, but forget the broadcaster, forget the date, forget where it is. Let's talk about this fight, because there is a huge ability, skill, everything gap in this fight, right? Jake Paul has had, 12 professional fights, and none of them have been against even really British level fighters. I mean, when he came up against Tommy Fury's not even British level. He couldn't win a British title. He's not even at that level. So he lost against Tommy Fury, and now we're seeing him fight and Anthony Joshua, who's probably going to be like 230 pounds. There is a slight weight limit, but still, the weight limit's like 245 pounds. We're going to see this guy who's still at world level, because Anthony Joshua is still at world level, and he's still beaten, better names than Jake Paul. This is Jake Paul we're talking about. Don't get me wrong. He knows the basics of boxing, but this isn't basics. This is world champion level fight, and he's going to get beat. That's a certain, but I'm more worried about how he's going to get beat, because if you saw the Francis Ngannou knockout, then you're probably thinking he's in trouble. Jake Paul is in trouble. So I've got the official rules right here, and we are going to talk about them. So first of all, 8 3-minute rounds. I mean, look, it is not even going to go 3 rounds, never mind 8. And they're 3 minutes as well, not 2 minutes. So, proper rounds really. And AJ was originally going to have an 8-round fight in December anyways. Obviously, we're going to talk about the money side in a second. But, 8 rounds, it's not even going to matter that. It doesn't even matter, because this fight isn't going to go 8 rounds. Also, this is the most concerning part of all of this. The gloves are 10-ounce gloves. Oh my days, this is, this is ridiculous. 10-ounce gloves. I mean, you must be seriously mad if you haven't even fought a British level contender, and now you're going to fight Anthony Joshua. Not 16-ounce gloves, not 14-ounce gloves. This isn't a spar. You're going to fight him with 10-ounce gloves. And this is the official rule set. I mean, according to Championship Rounds, which is a very credible source. If it is 10-ounce, maybe it gets changed, I don't know. If it is 10-ounce, that's seriously dangerous. And, it shouldn't really be happening. Before it got announced, I was thinking, okay, it's going to be probably a professional heavyweight bout, otherwise people complain and say, oh, Anthony Joshua, you're not fighting real fights. But despite it being a pro fight, I'm thinking, okay, well, it'll still be at least 14-ounce gloves, right? Surely. But no, it's 10-ounce gloves. This is going to be bad. This is going to be bad. I've probably never gone into a professional fight knowing a guy's going to get knocked out in probably less than a minute. And it could be very, very, very bad. And I just hope, and I don't really hope, because, you know, in some ways it's fraud and all this and that, but I kind of hope this is scripted to a certain point, because otherwise this is just seriously dangerous. I mean, it is seriously, seriously dangerous. You know, I mean, Jake Paul went in with Mike Tyson, who was a 6-year-old, but that does not compare to this. It just doesn't, right? It's completely different. This is a guy who's 36, you know, he's still, you know, you can say he's sort of shot or he's past it, but Anthony Joshua isn't so shot that he's going to even, you know, take Jake Paul as even a small threat. You know, it's going to be a washout. And look, Anthony Joshua was originally going to fight just some random guy in December, probably on one of the Matchroom undercards or something like that. I think it was in December or November. And it was just going to be sort of a, you know, get back in there, you know, get off some ring rust. Instead, of course, you're taking a Jake Paul fight, which is probably going to be similar to a guy who's going to fight before, to be honest, except the guy before will at least know, you know, sort of how to defend himself more and will have took heavyweight shots before. I mean, Jake Paul's not even been seriously hurt. He's never been knocked down. He doesn't know what it feels like. His body doesn't know what it feels like, which just makes this even worse. Of course, for AJ, you know, it's a banker, isn't it? You're getting paid, you know, like 50 times more than you were for some, you know, fighting some bum in December, which, fair enough, it's to get rid of some ring rust. So you're going to get way more for this fight than that one. So, you know, why not do it if you're Anthony Joshua? But I'm telling you this right now, Anthony Joshua does have to knock Jake Paul out in under a minute or all of his credibility has gone. So I am interested to see how it plays out, but I'm also a little bit scared because, look, as much as you might hate Jake Paul, you don't want to see a guy get brutally knocked out who isn't used to that at all, isn't at the top level. I mean, when Anthony Joshua knocked out Francis Ngannou, at least Francis Ngannou was a heavyweight fighter who's took shots with like 4-ounce gloves, UFC gloves. You know, at least he's used to that. And I know, okay, yeah, it was a bad knockout, but he'll probably be alright. Jake Paul has never even hit the canvas. The only time he was hurt was like at the start of his career against Tyron Woodley. And not even then, it was just kind of one shot and he kind of got hurt a bit, but then he got back into it. And he's going to get knocked out, that's for sure, but maybe it'll be, you know, sort of a referee stoppage or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I'm telling you this, I am going to be watching, as is everybody else, because this fight is a huge one, live on Netflix, December 19th. So yeah, anyways guys, comment down below your thoughts on the fight. They probably won't be good thoughts, to be honest, because it's dangerous. Simply dangerous. But anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.